Alright, I'm going to talk about the Gestalt project. Remember, you're going to do this project through cut paper. So whenever you're coming up with these designs, remember that you're actually going to have to cut out these shapes. So really, like, skinny lines are going to be challenging. It doesn't mean you can't do them, it just means it's going to be hard. So I have the Gestalt project steps pulled up. I think most of you already did step 1, which was complete day 4 sketchbook work, where you drew all of the different types of lines that we looked at in the other video. So step 2 is in your sketchbook. Create several 2x2 inch thumbnail compositions. Now I say 2x2, like what? 2x2 approximately is this big, but like you can do 3x3, whatever, just a square composition because your project is going to be squares. And one of your project pieces will emphasize continuation, continuance, continuity, however you want to say that word, continuation. One should be proximity, one should be similarity. So a reminder on that Gestalt PDF, I'll scroll down to continuation. It's where you're encouraged to keep traveling through a composition as if through a line. So you're compelled to move through one object and continue into another object. For instance, on that PDF, there's that space image. So you've got this stripe dragging you across the letters of the word space, and then it ends in a star. And I've kind of doodled on this page here, and I've decided that I'm going to do something like this for continuation. So I did a lot of doodles to try to work out what I'm going to do. So a lot of just like, how do I want things to sit in the composition? Remember, your composition should not be symmetric, so I don't want something just smack in the middle. I want you to get more interesting. So I've decided to do kind of like a circle here, and then a larger suggestion of another circle right here. And then for the continuation, I need something to go through this circle that suggests that it continues into something else. So I'm just going to do a line. And to fill my composition, to make it more interesting, I'm going to have it come from the top, go down, and I'm going to do a second line. Right now, there's a lot of negative space, so I need something over here. So I'm going to do a second line. Now looking at that composition, it still has a lot of empty space in the upper right, so I'm going to do another thumbnail and try to fix that. Now I have this secondary suggestion of a circle starting about 1/3 of the way down. So it takes about 2/3 of this side and then just 1/3 of this side. And then this takes up a good chunk right here. All right, let me retry these lines. I'll make it curvier than the first one. And I'll have this one come from a different direction. All right, now remember it's cut paper, so I have to decide what's actually going to be the cut paper and what's going to be the negative space, the white space. For now, I'll make this cut. This. So the parts where I'm filling in is what I'm thinking is going to be the cut paper. So the black parts would be the cut out. parts and the white zones would be just empty space. Now, it conveys the principle of continuation because I'm suggesting that this line continues through this shape, picks up again, and keeps going off the page. So it's continuing, and it might even, depending on how I curve it, suggest that it's like a ribbon or something that's kind of looping. Actually, I like that. I'm gonna change it again. Maybe I'll do something different. Have like a rectangle here. Rectangle here. And then I can play with the size of this. Maybe I want it to be thick, thin, and then thick again. So by doing one thumbnail and looking at how it kind of looks like a ribbon, I've decided to do a different composition and a different composition because I like that ribbon idea. Remember, it's supposed to be simple shapes, so I keep saying ribbon, but I'm not trying to make like a realistic ribbon with texture or any of that, just simple flat shapes. So now I'm suggesting that that line continues through the top rectangle or the left rectangle and into the other one. So play around with these ideas. All right, proximity. I've decided to do a circle. Actually, I'll make it a triangle. Down here. And the suggestion, I'm gonna change that. Then I'll fill it up with circles. And I'll do another bigger triangle over here. Now for this one, I'm gonna play around with filling in the negative space. So I'd actually be cutting out the negative space. Kind of inversing negative and positive. So you can play around with that. What I'm trying to do in this one is create an implied triangle through circles that are placed close together. Remember, proximity is how close things are to one another. I'm going to show you my other example that I made for proximity in a previous project because I think it'll make it clearer. This one right here. So I'm suggesting that this is viewed as one whole unit and this is viewed as a separate unit because of how close these shapes are to one another. So this is a really good example of proximity. And here's a little implied star. We can see the shape of the star because of how close those squares are placed next to one another. All right, and then similarity. What did I decide? Real fast, like an easy way to view similarity is to kind of divide your composition. I'm just gonna do like little circles. Big circles. little circles again. And then big circles again. So what I'm trying to suggest in this one is that we're gonna view the big circles together, the little circles together as their own stripe. Big circles as their own stripe, little circles. So it's all the same shape, but because they're different sizes, we view this stripe as one unit, this stripe as a separate unit, because within the stripes, we've got big circles that are the same or little circles that are the same. So they stand out because of the stripes sizes, even though they're the same shape. Since they're different sizes from stripe to stripe, we view all the little circles together because they're the same size, all the big circles together because they're the same size. And I want to show you my thought process. So there's a lot of thinking. You see these guys, I didn't show you anything that looked like that because I couldn't get my ideas to work, but I do like the composition, the layout of that one. But I couldn't get it to work, so I just kept doodling until I found something that kind of worked. So I ask for, you know, you need a minimum of 3 thumbnails because you have 3 compositions that you're gonna make, but look at how many I have. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Over 20 thumbnails right here, just trying to show you in a demonstration. So play around some more and send me your ideas.